Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, your one-stop shop for all your Pokemon information. We go through last week's sales and sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. We do also cover any big Pokemon news like cards or sets that get revealed. And if I do see any good deals, I always try to throw them in here too. And as you can tell, I am not at home. We are in Seattle right now for Card Party. See if we can kind of get a decent little look at the city. Yeah, too bright. But yeah, I'm super excited. So if you guys are in Seattle, definitely come to Card Party. It's a blast. And we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is ARIZONATCG. If you guys have a bunch of raw cards or graded cards, and you're trying to either get your cards graded or sell your graded cards, ARIZONATCG will handle everything. They're going to post it to their massive weekly eBay auctions. They're going to take professional scans. And for all of October, they will be doing 50% off your very first submission. So definitely check them out, and then you got to use Beard at checkout to get that 50% off. I promise you will not be disappointed. So definitely check them out. I'll have all the links in the description. All right, let's get into it. Hop into PokeBeard here. So we got new pull rates for the Mega Evolution set, and today's video is definitely going to be a little bit shorter, obviously because I'm in Seattle. But the new gold cards, 1 in 1,260 booster packs. This is 7 times rarer than the rarest gold cards in the Scarlet and Violet series. It would take 35 booster boxes to find just 1, or about 6 cases. This is by far the scarcest rarity to release in recent memory, if not ever. Their current market price is $500 to $600. Special illustration rares can be found in 1 out of every 101 packs. This is slightly rarer than the Scarlet and Violet series, where there are roughly 1 in 90 packs. And the illustration rares are easier to pull, 1 in 9 packs. They were previously 1 in 12 packs. So I actually like that lineup. Let me know down below what you guys think. I feel like the illustration rares should be pretty easy to pull. And then, yeah, I like that they kind of made the special illustration rares a little tougher. And if you're ever going to make gold cards or anything like this do good, you just got to make them as rare as possible. Even though our other gold cards were always a little bit rarer, people just didn't care. So here we'll check Destined Rivals. So as you can see here, for the SIR, any SIR 1 in 94, but any hyper rare, the gold card 1 in 149. So yeah, this is way tougher. But all right, let's get into it. We got the Destined Rivals booster box here, got up to $450. Now last sold $427, $412, $420, $425, $430. We can get it shipped right now for about $430 from someone with no sales. Otherwise, $435 from a good seller. Next, the Twilight Masquerade ETB, still not going up in price. Last sold $67, $64, $64, and $69. Next, 13 Sparks, same thing. Last sold $74, $69, $72, 10 of them at $74. Next, we have the Mask of Ogre Pond Premium Collection. Just wanted to show this. This has 10 packs in it, and it's selling for, last sold $49, $56, $56. So not too bad if you guys are looking, to get something to open up some packs. Pretty decent little pack selection. Not the newest stuff, but, Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, very solid packs. All right, next we have the Mega Evolution Lucario ETB. This got up to $125. Now last sold $92, $97, and we can get that shipped for $99. Next we have the Gardevoir Mega Evolution ETB. Got up to $102. When they first came out, it was at $176. Now last sold $90, $86, $90. Next we have the Lucario Mega Evolution Pokemon Center ETB. This got up to $398, down to $230. Now last sold $280, $285, $299, $255, and we can get that shipped for $271. Next, we have the Gardevoir. Same looking chart, was at $390. Now last sold $249, $240, $245. So the Lucario is definitely more popular than the Gardevoir. Next, we have the Mega Evolution Booster Bundle. This was at $85. Now last sold $57, $57, $43. We can get that shipped right now for $54. About $58 after shipping. Next, we have the Mega Evolution 3-pack blister. This is the Gold Duck one. This is at $47. Now that's sold $29, $27, $27. Next, the Mega Evolution Sleeve Booster Pack. This was at $26. Now last sold $8, $8, $8, $8. So we got 15 of them at $8.74. Next, we have the Phantasmal Flames ETB. Now I'm going to show you guys what these are selling for on TCG Player. And I'm going to show you guys what these are actually selling for on eBay. So don't ever buy, brand new pre-order items on TCG Player because it's just way overpriced. Some stuff is, pretty even, but a lot of stuff is just crazy. So here's the regular ETB, was at $175. Now that's sold $165, and we can get it shipped for $165. Next, The Pokemon Center ETB, this was at $599. Now last sold all at $599, and we can get it shipped for $599 with one listing. Because only certain people can sell on TCG Player for pre-sale items. So here's the Phantasmal Flames booster box, was at $343. Now last sold $334, and that's what we can get it shipped for. And now we got the booster bundle. This was at $90. Now last sold $73, $75. And then here is the Mega Charizard UPC, the Mega Charizard X UPC. This is the only thing on TCG Player that's actually going up. This was at $250. Now last sold $353, $353. And now we can get it shipped for $353. But now we're going to hop to eBay, where we can get the UPC for $305 plus $20 in shipping, $322 best offer accepted. Booster bundle $65 plus $10 or $15 in shipping. Pokemon Center ETB $323. Bunch more UPCs around $300, $350. Pokemon Center ETB $300. So what was it again for TCG Player? $599. $300 on. And here's another one at $323, $303. Regular ETB $165. So, you know, that's almost spot on. And the booster box around the same price too. But yeah, some stuff just gets crazy hyped up on TCG Player. All right, next, we're going to hop into some cards. And if you guys did not know, someone must have stolen some of the new Phantasmal Flames or something, because there's a couple listings of the English, you know, Oricorio and the Charizard from the Charizard UPC. So they're asking $500. It sold for $275. I think there's still a couple more on eBay. And then here's the Charizard, the sealed Charizard from the UPC. $850. You know, it comes with the 2 promos. It was at $1,500 and they accepted $850. So that is crazy. Next, I just had to throw these 2 cards in here. They're not going down in price. But if you guys did not know, the Colossus and the Clobbopus, which is the same exact artist as the Bubble Mew, is going crazy. Now, we actually talked about this on my channel probably a month ago, if this card had the potential to go up in price because of the Mew, and we figured it would. So the Clobbopus was a $3 card. Now that's sold $34, $25, $33. But yeah, the Colossus here, this thing was literally $11. Now that's sold $59, $60, and I think it already has some ridiculous nickname. I already forgot what it was, but anyways, let's get to some stuff that's going down. So we got the Mewtwo, was at $545. Now that's sold $333, $333, $526, $528, $499, $560. So those $333 sales are a little strange. We can get a ship though for $510. It was at $550. Next, the Charizard EX from $151 was at about $310. Now last sold $248, $249, $297, $259, $245, $310. Next, the Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames was at $125. Now last sold $92, $125, $108, $110, $105. Next, we're checking out all the new Mega Evolution cards. So we'll click on the Lucario here. Going up in price. We're going to be checking these on Market Monday also. Last sold $750, $680, $660, $650. And then we got the Gardevoir. Last sold for this one, $599, $500, $499. So people definitely like the Lucario more. I genuinely feel like Lucario does not have very many good cards. You can go look at every card in Lucario history, and there's not a ton of super good ones. He has not gotten a lot of love for being one of the most popular Pokemon. Next, we got the Gardevoir EX SIR. Last sold $329, $300. And it was $549 on release, but those are just crazy sales. Next, we got the Lucario. Same thing, was about $370 on release. Now that sold $248, $250, $283. And then got the Mega Venusaur. I feel like no one is talking about the Mega Venusaur. That sold $225, $254, $197. And this was at $205, so it's actually going up in price a little bit. And then we got to check the Mega Latias. I feel like another card nobody's talking about. Last sold $175, $179, $199. This was at $254, so that one has dropped a good amount. Lily's Determination now, market price $172. Got to check the Mega Absol. Last sold for this one $95, $96, $102. And then Mega Kangaskong is dropping because it was at $100 for a while. Now that sold $90, $88, $91, $90. And then the Marshadow, this is another illustration where they went crazy. It does connect with another card. I don't remember what set it's from, but it's pretty adorable. So this was $40. Now last sold $66, $69, $67. So we did have some sales in the 70s. All right, what else do we got? Anything else interesting? The Ivysaur illustration rare 36, Vulpix 31. I think the Vulpix illustration rare art might be the best in the whole set, like art-wise. That might be my favorite. I think it's just so clean. And then we got Bulbasaur 28, Wally's Compassion 27, the Mega Lucario EX Full Art 23, Steelix, another one of my favorites, 22. This Gumshoes is going up. People are calling it like the Donald Trump card or something like that. So this was at $14. Now that's sold $22, $22, $19. See what else there is for some of these cheaper cards. Shuckle is $10. The Mega Venusaur Full Art is $20. The Executor is $9. That's a beautiful art. Shed Ninja $6.60, which I think is a connecting artwork, I want to say. Not 100% sure. Delibird $5. So there's some beautiful illustration rares that are honestly really cheap to where I'd buy them right now. Worst case scenario, they go down like another buck or two. But Inteleon for $4 or $5. Not bad. And then here is the promos for Mega Evolution. So the Staff Alakazam card is the most expensive. That is a sick staff card. Love that art. Market price $200. And then we have the Pokemon Center Alakazam, market price $93. And then the Riolu Pokemon Center exclusive at $80. I really hope that Alakazam gets a little bit cheaper, and I'm definitely going to buy some. Like if it gets down to $75, I'll definitely pick up a few. Last sold $105, $197, $88, $92. So hopefully I can find one at Card Party this weekend, or a few of them. And then even the regular Alakazam promo, market price $22. And then the Riolu is $17. So still some decent value for just the regular promos. Even the Alakazam regular Mega Evolution Stamp promo is $22. All right, next we're checking out some of the Inferno X art rares. This is the new Japanese set, which will be our Phantasmal Flames. So we got Yamper at $6, Flygon $5.60, Wigglytuff $11, Piplup says it sold for $1, I guess. Yamper $7, Piplup for $10, Wigglytuff for $7, Toxtricity for $5.50. You know, it's a pretty solid lineup of Pokemon. You know, Toxtricity, we got some Gen 1 Pokemon, got a starter. Nothing super crazy, but not too bad. So yeah, they're pretty much all under $10. Dugong $12.50, Wigglytuff $12. So big fan of that Dugong card. Beautiful art. Check that out. All right, next we have the SARs. So the Charizard looks like it's going up in price. Last sold here $700, $625. We got the Rotom for $24, and then $550. And then if you go check on TCG Player, there's a ton of sales from literally like $640 to $700 now for this Charizard card. And here's the Oricorio at $130. The Mega Sharpedo, $30 best offer accepted, so that one's very cheap. But I cannot wait to get this Charizard card. It's one of the few cards that I want to get like kind of right away. Even though, you know, there's a good chance it might come down. I don't care. I want to get it. I don't want to wait too long. I kind of even want to buy one in Japanese if it wasn't $600. You know, if it was like $300 or $400, I feel like that wouldn't be terrible. Next, we have the Inferno X booster box. I would also like to open a little bit of this too, but last sold $140, $135, $128, $152, $136, $120 with shrink wrap, and $131. And then you got to be careful of ordering stuff from Japan right now, because I just ordered a Japanese card and I had to pay $60 to my mailman, which was just crazy. And last on the list, we have the new Chinese art rares. So Gengar was selling for, you know, $310, $398, but now we got one at $243, $235 best offer accepted. We got all the new Chinese exclusives for $468. So Roulette at $28 plus $7 in shipping, and Gengar at $268, $315 best offer accepted, $349. So definitely going down in price. The boxes $74, $76, $73. Pretty nice Gengar on there too. And then the Cubone, I'm trying to find the Cubone. There we go. $99. So definitely get a little cheaper. It was at $126 for a while there. Some beautiful cards. Another one at $95. Love to pick some of these up for sure. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Falling Friday. I apologize for it being a little bit shorter. And then, too, if you guys do like this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, and my YouTube membership is only 99 cents a month. All right, I want you guys to have a great day. And if you guys want to go watch my last Pokemon Throwback Thursday, where we go over the best Rayquaza cards in Pokemon history, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.